Another milestone, SpaceX successfully deploys 23 Starlink satellites on February 21. Cape Canaveral, Florida, February 21, 2025. SpaceX continues to expand its global broadband network with yet another successful launch of 23 Starlink satellites from Florida's Space Coast. The mission, which lifted off from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, marked another major step toward achieving SpaceX's ambitious goal of providing worldwide satellite internet coverage. The Falcon 9 rocket, which has become a workhorse for SpaceX, blasted off at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, lighting up the night sky as it ascended toward orbit. Shortly after liftoff, the rocket's first stage successfully returned to Earth, landing on the autonomous drone ship, a shortfall of Gravitas, stationed in the Atlantic Ocean. This marked yet another successful booster recovery for SpaceX, reinforcing the company's commitment to reusability and cost-effective spaceflight. Expanding the Starlink network. The deployment of these 23 satellites adds to SpaceX's ever-growing Starlink constellation, which now consists of thousands of satellites orbiting Earth. The goal of the Starlink project is to provide high-speed, low-latency internet access to underserved and remote areas around the globe, including regions with limited terrestrial infrastructure. With each launch, SpaceX enhances the performance and coverage of the network, which has already made significant strides in connecting communities worldwide. Starlink has been instrumental in providing internet services in disaster-stricken areas, remote locations, and even military operations, showcasing the potential of satellite-based communications. The constellation has grown exponentially over the past few years, with Starlink terminals now being used in regions as diverse as rural North America, Sub-Saharan Africa, and the Arctic. In addition to providing general consumer internet services, Starlink is also being leveraged for commercial and government applications. Several airlines have already partnered with SpaceX to integrate Starlink connectivity into their in-flight services, offering passengers seamless, high-speed internet access even at cruising altitudes. Meanwhile, the U.S. military has been testing Starlink for secure communications in various operations, recognizing its strategic advantage in areas where traditional infrastructure is unreliable or non-existent. Another successful booster recovery. A highlight of the mission was the successful landing of the Falcon 9's first-stage booster, marking its 12th flight. SpaceX's ability to reuse boosters significantly reduces the cost of launches, a key factor in the company's continued success in the commercial space industry. The booster, previously used in multiple missions, demonstrated the reliability of SpaceX's reusability model. The fairing halves used to protect the payload during ascent were also planned for recovery, aligning with SpaceX's broader initiative to reuse as much hardware as possible. SpaceX engineers continue refining recovery techniques, improving the efficiency of retrieval and refurbishment processes, further lowering costs and reducing waste. Looking ahead. This latest launch is part of an aggressive 2025 schedule for SpaceX, with the company planning dozens of additional Starlink missions alongside other commercial and government payloads. With advancements in satellite technology and a growing number of launches, Starlink aims to improve its internet service in terms of speed, reliability, and accessibility. Additionally, SpaceX is developing next-generation Starlink satellites featuring advanced laser communication systems. These satellites will enable direct satellite-to-satellite data transfer, reducing the need for ground-based relay stations and further enhancing global connectivity. The second-generation satellites are also expected to offer improved bandwidth and energy efficiency, allowing for even faster and more stable connections. SpaceX CEO Elon Musk has frequently stated that Starlink will play a crucial role in bridging the global digital divide and even serve as a backbone for future Mars missions. The company has already begun testing satellite-to-smartphone connectivity, a move that could revolutionize the telecom industry by reducing reliance on traditional cell towers and expanding mobile coverage to previously unreachable locations. With partnerships forming with international governments and telecommunications providers, Starlink is on the path to becoming an integral part of the global communications infrastructure. As the constellation grows, SpaceX edges closer to its goal of making high-speed internet available everywhere on the planet. The role of Starlink in emergency response. One of the most critical applications of Starlink has been in emergency response and disaster relief efforts. The constellation has provided crucial internet access in areas affected by natural disasters, including hurricanes, earthquakes, and wildfires. Starlink has been deployed to war-torn regions, ensuring continuous communication where traditional networks have failed or been destroyed. Governments and humanitarian organizations have increasingly relied on SpaceX's satellite network to re-establish connectivity during crises, aiding rescue efforts and coordination. The mobility of Starlink terminals has also allowed for rapid deployment, enabling emergency teams to set up communication hubs in minutes. This has proven vital for first responders who rely on stable connections to coordinate rescue missions, medical support, and supply distribution. With continued advancements, Starlink could play an even greater role in global disaster response, offering resilient and reliable connectivity wherever it is needed most. SpaceX's future beyond Starlink. Beyond Starlink, SpaceX has its eyes set on ambitious projects such as the fully reusable Starship rocket, which aims to revolutionize space travel and enable human missions to the Moon and Mars. With Starship expected to play a crucial role in both lunar landings and interplanetary travel, SpaceX is cementing itself as a pioneer in the new era of space exploration. The Starship program has already undergone multiple test flights, with future plans to transport cargo and passengers to deep space destinations. NASA has selected Starship as the lander for its Artemis program, which aims to return humans to the Moon by the end of the decade. The successful deployment of Starlink satellites serves as a stepping stone toward more complex space missions, ensuring that SpaceX remains at the forefront of aerospace innovation. Additionally, SpaceX continues to develop new partnerships with space agencies and commercial clients, solidifying its role as the leading provider of space launch services. With private space tourism on the horizon, SpaceX's reusable rocket technology could make space travel more accessible than ever before, opening new possibilities for research, industry, and exploration. Conclusion. The February 21 launch underscores SpaceX's continued dominance in the commercial space sector and its commitment to global connectivity. With each successful deployment, the company brings the world closer to a future where internet access is no longer limited by geography. As SpaceX continues to push the boundaries of space exploration and communication technology, the world watches in anticipation of what's next. As 2025 progresses, the company shows no signs of slowing down, with more launches, technological innovations, and groundbreaking advancements on the horizon. Whether through Starlink's ever-expanding capabilities or the bold vision of interplanetary colonization, SpaceX continues to reshape the future of space and telecommunications, setting new standards for what is possible beyond Earth's atmosphere. With growing ambitions, SpaceX is paving the way for a new era of connectivity and exploration, ensuring that humanity's reach extends far beyond our home planet.